Have you ever wondered why some people seem unbreakable? Not because life is kind to them, but because nothing seems to touch them anymore. What if the secret isn't strength, but something much deeper? Have you ever wished you could become unbreakable? Not cold, not heartless, just unshaken. The kind of person who isn't destroyed by criticism, rejection, betrayal, or loss. Someone who no longer carries that quiet ache inside, the one you hide so well while telling everyone you're fine. Maybe you're exhausted from holding yourself together, from always being strong, from pretending nothing hurts when all you really want is a moment of rest from the pressure of being invincible. Here's a truth most people never hear. The more you try to escape pain, the more power it gains over you. When you numb yourself, when you hide, when you build defenses against the world, you don't become safer. You become trapped. Trapped by other people's words, by their silence, by their disappointment. And this isn't weakness. It's human. The only difference is that some people are better at pretending. Carl Jung understood this deeply. He said that we are not defined by what happens to us, but by what we choose to become. And that choice begins the moment you stop trying to protect yourself from pain and start trying to understand it. This isn't about becoming distant or emotionally dead. It's not about turning cold. It's about integration. Real strength isn't the absence of pain. It's awareness, even when you're bleeding. If you're still here, this message is for you. For the one who feels emotionally exposed, like others have a power over you that you can't explain. I want you to know something important. It doesn't have to stay this way. But first, you'll need the courage to face some uncomfortable truths. And yes, they may hurt. But this time, the pain won't break you. It will free you. Let's begin. You believe the pain comes from outside, from what others say, from how they leave, from betrayals you never saw coming. But here's the hard truth. Nothing outside you can hurt you unless it touches a wound that already exists. What wounds you isn't the event. It's what the event awakens inside you. Old trauma, unhealed emptiness, a story you keep telling yourself about what it means. Jung taught that what disturbs us in the external world is often a mirror of what we haven't yet faced within ourselves. That's why one person survives devastation with clarity, while another collapses after a single careless remark. It's not about what happens. It's about where it hits. And here's something even harder to accept. You suffer because part of you still believes that if you try hard enough, you can control how the world treats you. You try to be kinder, smarter, stronger, more understanding, as if perfection could protect you from pain. But control is an illusion, and the more you cling to it, the more tense and fragile you become. Freedom doesn't come from controlling life. It comes from understanding yourself. As long as you believe others must change for you to feel peace, you remain imprisoned by them. The moment you realize that nothing external has power unless it resonates internally, that's where liberation begins. Because the real battlefield isn't outside you. It's unconscious. What you don't see controls you. What you don't understand governs you. Jung said it clearly. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Your sudden anger, your unexplained sadness, your self-sabotage. None of it is random. These are messages from parts of you that were ignored, silenced, or buried. The unconscious doesn't disappear when you avoid it. It simply finds louder, more destructive ways to speak, through toxic relationships you repeat, through anxiety that appears when everything seems fine, through patterns you swear you'll break, but never do. This isn't bad luck. It's your psyche asking you to wake up. If you want to stop being hurt, stop running from yourself. The more you armor up against life, the more vulnerable you become inside. True invulnerability isn't resistance, it's integration. Most people try to avoid pain by closing themselves off. They build walls, wear masks, pretend nothing touches them. But inside, they're still bleeding. Because the problem was never feeling too much. The problem was not understanding what they felt, and why. Emotional strength isn't coldness. It isn't indifference. It's wholeness. You don't become untouchable by distancing yourself from the world. You become untouchable when you embrace what the world once used against you. When your fears are acknowledged, when your shadows are faced, when your insecurities are owned. You stop reacting. You start choosing. Jung called this process individuation, the journey of becoming who you truly are, not who you were conditioned to be, not who you pretended to be for approval, but who emerges when light and shadow finally meet. This process doesn't make you perfect. It makes you whole. And here's the secret no one tells you. The more you run from pain, the faster it chases you. But when you face it, it loses its power. Pain isn't your enemy. It's a messenger. Ignored pain mutates into anxiety, anger, numbness, and self-destruction. But when you listen, suffering becomes guidance. Growth hurts. Change hurts. Letting old identities die hurts. But every transformation requires a kind of inner death. And in that collapse, when masks fall away and certainty dissolves, something real finally appears. You. Not the performance. Not the armor. Not the survival version. And this is where suffering becomes sacred. Because it brings you face to face with yourself. The path of individuation is lonely. Not because you're abandoned, but because few people are willing to go this deep. When you stop living on the surface, you naturally outgrow the places where you once hid. This isn't arrogance, it's maturity. And here's the final truth. Nothing will protect you from life if you remain unconscious. But when awareness becomes your foundation, nothing has the power to destroy you. You still feel, but you don't drown. You still suffer, but you don't lose yourself. True protection isn't armor. It's clarity. Those who live on the surface are shattered by every wave. Those who dive deep discover stability beneath the chaos. That's where you're headed. And when you live from that depth, the world may try to wound you, but it no longer finds where to strike. If something inside you recognized itself in these words, write in the comments, "I choose awareness." This journey doesn't end here. Transformation only begins when you keep going. See you in the next step. If this video gave you clarity, then subscribe this channel.